Johan, let's start with the signing of James Hanson. A short-term loan, but initially, how long will it take him to get up to speed, do you think, with the squad and what you want from a player?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's great to have that another at just the depth into that position, and we welcoming him. Yeah, we actually this week said to him, you mustn't have expectation of being involved on the match 23. So it's a week for him to get orientated to how we want to play, to the line-out calls, to all the systems where the whole club is, and everybody make him feel welcome. So yeah, so even if it takes another week, it's good to have him with his experience here, and once he's ready to go, physically he's 100%. Once he's ready to go with the style and all the plays, will be available for selection.
Because looking at the other hookers in the squad, you've got two in Richard Hibbard and Motumatu, who are very experienced, and then you've got two who are very young, still in the academy, Joe Mullis and Henry Walker. So it just gives you that bit of extra, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's the reality is it's so vital position. It's a specialised position, and at one stage we were out for a while with Mots, and there was a lot of pressure on Hibbs, as he was the senior hooker, had to almost practice every every scrum session. He had to take a lot of load, and therefore it's great to have another senior guy available, but also our young guys can learn from this guy again. It gives them that flexibility, and if needed to, we've got a senior guy that can step in, but also we always believe that we have to look at our young up-and-coming guys and develop them.
If it works out for him here, is there the chance of extending the deal?
At this stage, we don't look beyond that. Obviously he's got still a full year to go at the Rebels, so we haven't went in that discussion. It's more of us just securing that we've got that depth in that position.
And has his arrival given people a bit of a lift around the camp this week? Because obviously you go into this Friday off the back of 2 defeats.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more a challenge for him individually as for us as a team. Hopefully, everybody will see it as a strengthening the squad, and also it brings a nice competition at hooker position. But I think obviously everybody knows it's for a short term, and it's for him also to show what he's got. Like you said, can open doors up for him locally, but also back at home. People, he was always involved with Wallaby squads. Maybe by performing well, he can, change Michael Cheka's mind. But at this stage, I think he's the one that really excited to take up the challenge and to show what he can do.
You talked after Leicester about the players' need to learn on the job, effectively. Is that something that the better players will learn to adapt quicker?
Yeah, well, we must get the whole group to learn quicker, and like I said, there's no quick fix, but then again, we have to learn and be able to respond. So we have to, you've got a working week, and there's things that happen in a match that you've got time to fix. And my expectation is that like you've said, the more experienced players learn quicker, but the ability must come through the whole squad, because as we lost players week by week for injury, the next player must be able to take that same learning ability and adapt it to the game on the Saturday.
And you're back to Kingston this week. I'm sure you don't want to make a big thing of that and rely on it, but how much of a help is it to you that you can make the most of it?
Yeah, I'm a big believer that we must be able to play anywhere, anytime, and be able to perform at your standards. I don't want to use away from home as an excuse, and I don't like that, but saying that you want to have to be proud of your home field, you must make it as tough as possible for any visiting side, and because you're in your environment, in your routine, and you're sleeping in your bed, in your change room, so your excuses is actually less. But it is great to be back. We were disappointed in our performance in the last 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll give our supporters a much better performance back at home.
Do you feel the players have a point to prove?
Well, I hope so in the one sense, because we haven't performed to our best of our ability after week one, and like I said, we can only make our supporters proud if we start performing, and therefore no better than Friday night.
and Worcester have struggled so far. I know you won't want to look too much at them, but is there an opportunity against them, if you like, to really capitalise?
Yeah, again, I think the players will start learning me. I don't put too much value on the jersey that you play against. If I say that, I respect the opposition. That value is high. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel you have to, if you play a certain team now, you must be so much more motivated than the next team. The reality is, we play a next game, and we were not good enough on the weekend before, and we've got opportunity to fix that. Worcester, I don't like to look at teams at locks of what they did in the previous few weeks. To me, in professional sport, it's too close. Any team can beat any team on the day if you're not switched on, if you not come out with your best attitude. And they're going to come, they're desperate, they're going to come with all guns firing, they're going to want to change their season as well. So, we just have to look at ourselves and say, are we going to play from the first minute instead of waiting for that second half again?
How are Billy Burns and also Owen Williams?
Yeah, Owen looks like he's not going to make it, but Billy is cleared and trained well, and it's looking good for him.
And that could just be a real big help to the back line, which you had all those changes last week. I mean, presumably you can just revert back to plan A, and if you need plan B, well, everyone knows that as well now.
No, exactly. Obviously, it was a late change, but again, we have to have belief and faith in everybody. But Billy brings, a specialist as a 10 and a lot of excitement, and he was disappointed not to be involved last week, and I think we still made the best choice to don't risk him. Therefore, he's really looking forward to add value to this game, and like you said, it's back to normal in the combinations.
Everyone else okay? You had a couple of other players go off last weekend?
Yeah, Matt Scott obviously is going to be out for this week, and he's done a scan yesterday. We're waiting for the final results, and hopefully we are really all thumbs that it's not going to be a 3-4 month thing. It's going to just be a few weeks, but like I said, that result has to come. Other than that, Henry Trinde is on his return to protocol on his concussion. He got through today. He can train with us. It's a short week on Thursday, but it looks like he's going to make it, so he'll be available for selection. So other than Scott, everybody else is 100%.
And anyone coming back into the mix off the injury list? Just Billy?
Only Billy. Yeah, that's only Billy. Yeah.